1957, the Gold Sheet is the country's longest-running sports betting newsletter and has been serving bettors for over 6 decades. Whether you are a lifelong subscriber, used to buy it at the newsstand, or perhaps have never seen the Gold Sheet, we want to share this amazing March Madness offer with you. Get 5 weeks of access to both the college basketball and NBA Gold Sheet newsletter for only $29. This will give you daily access to both the complete NBA and college basketball reports, which includes power ratings, strength of schedule, average line, against the spread records, and more. Get all of this for under $1 a day. It's not your dad's newsletter where games were written a week in advance, but rather up-to-date stats, scores, injuries, and all of the information to make you a March Madness expert. Head to goldsheet.com and get your March Madness on for only $29.
All right, guys, welcome in, and a very happy Wednesday to you here as the madness has already begun today. A number of college basketball conference tournament games have either completed or are just getting underway. Much to get to here tonight on the card, especially on the East Coast, which is where we'll focus on today's games, and we'll do it with 3 of the best at WagerTalk.com and Mid-Major Matt Joseph's here, SportsMemo.com as well on this Wednesday. And Drew, off and running, man. Here we go with the madness. I got to imagine you are locked and loaded here tonight at WagerTalk.com.
Absolutely, Joe. One of the best weeks of the calendar year, buddy. And got a 5% max limit play up. 5-1, the last 6 of them, Joe, 18-7 going back for the full course of the year. So these 5% have been cashing, looking to do it again tonight. 63% on the year overall, not one play more than minus 115 juice, guys. So seeing it well now in college hoops, and this week, kind of the best week to be betting college basketball here, Joe. So man, excited to break down these games with you.
All right, good stuff here, guys. Trig, I know you are ready to go. Syracuse, I believe, was one of yours already this morning. That's a hell of a way to start before even 2 o'clock. You get the victory there, and now you move on for a full card tonight. What else you got for us?
Yeah, so nice start to the day. One of the easier winners that I can remember having in the last month or so. But yeah, I think that makes us 14-6 over the last 20 plays. I have another best bet that I've already bet. I'm going to give it out on the show, so stay tuned for that. And there's 1 or 2 more that I'm looking at, so I may get to the window with something else. And if you want to get all of everything from now through the the end of college basketball, head over to my page because that really good Wager Talk special for $177 is still up.
Yeah, got to be able to take advantage of it, guys. Also good over at sportsmemo.com with Mid-Major Matt Joseph's. What's going on, man? I know you finished up those pre-conference previews there. Great stuff, guys. If you head over to Sports Memo's YouTube channel, you can check them out. And what do you got for us tonight here, Matt?
Yeah, a couple plays tonight. Very nice start to the day with the alma mater winning by 100, so that's always good. But yeah, I got a couple of plays that we're looking at, including one that's getting set to come off in the Wake Forest game. But yeah, looking forward to it. Best week of the year to bet, and then of course the madness officially starts next week.
All right, good stuff here, guys. East Coast, here we come tonight. We'll start with, how about a championship game? No better place to start, right? Navy taking on Colgate in the Patriot League Championship, 7:30 Eastern time tonight. Total opens up right around that 129 mark. So, Drew, lead us off here. Colgate by 7, Colgate by 10. Is this like watching paint dry? What are we going to get tonight?
Joe, just breaking this game down, and Navy in the Patriot League Championship game? Am I really going to bet against Navy? Who's more patriotism than the Naval Academy here. We're catching a full touchdown, Joe. This is Navy's first time in the Patriot League Finals since 2001. They haven't made the tournament since 1998. They're going to be amped up to do so. And kind of opposed to that is Colgate, 4 straight appearance in the championship game. So kind of 2 programs that have really been drastically different. And Colgate, a team that started off 3-10 on the season, looking really down, but they're one of the hottest teams in the country right now. So kind of tough to step in front of them, winning 14 straight games. But still, these 2 teams played in the last game of the regular season, I believe, not too long ago, and Navy stayed within the number. And one way to beat Colgate is to stop them from knocking down threes. They're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country, and that's actually something Navy does very well, is defend the opposing team's field goal percentage is very good. They're also a slow team. So I think matchup-wise, it sets up well for Navy. Give me the midshipman, plus the touchdown here, +7. I think Navy punches their ticket, Joe.
Taking the points here. What do you think, Trig? Is it it's not a great matchup for Navy because they don't shoot half as well as Colgate does, but they do bring the defense. So how do you approach this game tonight?
Joe, I think the only way you can bet it is to take the points with Navy. If you like Colgate, I think you just have to pass or look for an in-game spot because I think you'd be laying way too many pre-flop. I just think that number's too big. Drew said he brought up the meeting recently. Greg Summers didn't even play in that game. And Greg Summers just had 21 over the weekend against BU to get Navy to this point. It seems like it's a decent matchup for Navy. They can defend the 3. So I think this is a scenario that we've kind of talked about all year, where the odds makers know that they're going to get some public Colgate action, kind of regardless of what number they put out there. And they're basically, the odds makers are basically going to say, okay, you want to bet on Colgate, that's fine, but we're going to make you lay far too big of a premium. So there's all sorts of things to like about Colgate. They're the odds-on favorite coming into the year in the Patriot League. They are probably the better team. They've won 14 straight. This game is at home for them, and they have the tremendous home record. But on a one-off game in a championship setting, I don't think home court matters that much. And Navy has shown that they're capable. So I think if you like Navy, that this is absolutely a bet you can make. I think you're getting a good number. That's the way I would lean. Like I said, I agree with a lot of what Drew said. I personally am pretty high on Colgate. I really like them in the Patriot League coming into the season. So I'm going to pass on this one. But the lean, if you want to just talk about a numbers play, I think Navy plus the points is what it has to be.
So the fear here, Matt, with this situation here is if Colgate is hot from the start, do you trust Navy to have enough shooting to get in this game if they fall behind here? Or are you approaching it from a total perspective? All right, think about that, Matt. We'll get back to him in just a second here as game number 2. It's a man of few words. Oh, there he is. Matt, you there, bud?
I am there. I was
not
just
a problem.
Drake said that home court doesn't matter, and we just watched Bryant win by 1 million. I mean, this game actually rings a lot like what happened in the Bryant Wagner game. I mean, Colgate's the better squad. I don't think that Colgate's going to win by 40 tonight, but I don't expect a brawl in the stands or anything like that. But Colgate's the better team. And by the way, that last meeting, Keegan Records only had 3 points. He's not doing that again. Navy has nobody to cover Records, but I do agree with Trig in what he said in terms of I'm not betting it now. I'm almost hoping that Navy gets a lead and I can get a shorter number on Colgate. I think they win tonight. If you really want to, take the money line and pair it off with something else in the area and then kind of make a money line parlay because I think Colgate's going to win tonight. They're the better team. I trust them more. Plus, Navy's not a good free throw shooting team. And in a situation like this, especially on the road, hostile atmosphere, I need a team, especially in a situation like this, who can hit their free throws. And Navy's just not very good at it. So either pair the money line off with something else or basically wait in game, like he said, and try and get a shorter number.
So I would suggest to the Colgate fans, the last group of fans you want to get into a fight with in the stands are Navy fans. I'm just saying you may want to opt not to do that, unlike Brian and Wagner last night. All right, guys, that is the Patriot League Championship. We will move on. We'll keep it in the East. And where else? How about Madison Square Garden? They'll play host to the St. John's. The Johnnies open up as a 5.5-point favorite over the Blue Demons of DePaul. That total 155.5 as an opening number here. And man, oh man, we just saw 99-94 with these two teams. We've seen a lot of points. I think we've also seen maybe Freeman Liberty is a beast. He was hurt early on, but he is finally healthy, and it certainly has shown here, Drew Martin, as of late with this DePaul squad. He is the leader. He can certainly carry them. Do you like them here? Take the points with St. John's?
You know, it's interesting. You bring up DePaul's best player, really, and what they've won 3 of the last 4 games here, Joe. So, yeah, I don't know that I would look to really step in front of DePaul, especially because, like you also mentioned, these two teams just played and, yeah, almost scoring 200 points combined here. So, hey, guys, if you're looking to kind of bet totals in conference championship, one thing I wanted to point out is, you know, we've seen a huge move towards unders. You know, a lot of these games are right off the open, getting bet under 1, 2, 3 points right off the open. This game did as well, interestingly enough, Joe. And then this morning when the limits kind of rose, I think people looked at it and went, DePaul and St. John's, do I really want to bet this game under? They just almost scored 200 last time they played, and I'm going to bet it under 150. I don't think so. Sure enough, we've seen a push towards the over. So something to look towards totals-wise there. But sidewise, I think it's really tough. It's a kind of a tough handicap here, Joe. I would probably go towards DePaul being more healthy, best player on the court here, catching some points. So, yeah, give me the Blue Demons here. I sidewise, I would look towards DePaul, Joe.
Yeah, Drew mentioned that Trig 3-2 straight up, but 5-0 against the number as well. DePaul on a nice little win streak for backers here. Are you looking at the dog, or are you going with the Johnnies in this?
Oh, I'd definitely be looking at DePaul. Like Drew said, they're getting healthy. And I want to just go back to something that Matt said in the last sort of breakdown. You know, yeah, home court, I shouldn't have said it doesn't matter, because it definitely matters. But certain quote unquote home courts, I think they get a little overblown sometimes in conference tournaments. So maybe Cotterell Court in Hamilton, New York, might have a little bit more of some juice with the home fans. But like, I think this is a scenario where St. John's playing quote unquote at home in the Garden, probably adding unnecessarily to the number in my opinion. You know, Freeman Liberty can go off. He's a stud. I've kind of been like pro DePaul most of the year. I had DePaul. I believe I pushed against St. John's earlier this season, and DePaul's the type of team where I typically look to back them when they're kind of like a bigger dog and no one's really giving them a chance. Surprisingly, the market is giving them a chance here. But when I looked prior to the show, DePaul was I know we throw the term around, a little bit of a square dog, if you will, getting more of the market backing than I expected. But I like this DePaul team. I think if there's a team that could really just like come out of left field in one of these conference tournaments and make a run that no one potentially expects, DePaul kind of profiles as that team. They've got the scorers to do it. So St. John's, for whatever reason, the Sharps have bet St. John's all year. They've been wrong with them all year. It's a team I haven't fully been able to figure out. But yeah, I think we're getting a good number with DePaul. I like that they're getting healthy. So DePaul plus the points is how I would look in this game.
All right, looking at DePaul and the points. How about you, Maddie? How are you looking at this game here tonight, DePaul against St. John's?
I'm looking at St. John's team total over. You know, we talk about the health for DePaul, but like this is a St. John's team that throughout the whole season has had people go in and out of the lineup. And now that Soriano's healthy, they're pretty much intact here. And you just look at what they've done at home. And look, this is not their home, but they're very familiar with Madison Square Garden. And they scored 81 against Xavier, 78 against Creighton, 91 against Butler. And scoring 91 on Butler and pushing them to 74 possessions is something that you don't do very often. So I think St. John's, look, DePaul's a nice story and everything, and the Freeman Liberty kid is good, but like this St. John's team, when they put it together, is a really good basketball team. That's why I put a little bit on them to win this tournament, because I think that they are an uber talented team. So I'm looking at St. John's team total over here. DePaul's defense gave 84 in one game and 99 in the other. I'll take my chances that St. John's going to be able to score and score at will in this one.
All right, there you go. Anticipating some points. Shocker in a St. John's game. We'll move on. We'll keep it out in the East here, guys. Let's take a look at Baltimore County here. UMBC taking on Hartford in the America East semifinals. Total opens up at 150. UMBC -4. Matt, talk to us here with UMBC and Hartford here. You leaning one way or the other in this matchup?
Well, as a guy who loves Vermont and has made a lot of money off Vermont, I'm really rooting for UMBC here because Hartford has given Vermont a lot of trouble this year. Now, granted, Vermont was a little banged up for those games, but I'm really rooting for UMBC. This is one of your classic pace games where UMBC wants to get up and down. And ironically, get up and down for this conference, they're number 2 in pace at 67.3 possessions per game. That's average across the country. But, I mean, this is a really good offense. And you look at the 2 games so far they played, it was a 92-85 game at Hartford, which is interesting because usually the home team controls the tempo. And then at home, it was a 68-64 game. Normally, I'd be a little bit worried about the fact that the last game was in overtime, but that was on Sunday and it was at home. I lean to UMBC here. Now, it's not a confident play. Hartford's got a lot of guys. I love what John Gallagher has done at Hartford. He's putting some pieces together there. And this is one of those classic cases, though, if you're a Ken Palm person, to make sure to look at the conference-only statistics, because if you don't look at the conference-only, you see their defense isn't very good. And then you go to the conference-only, and they're defending the 3 pretty well, and they're a mediocre defending the 2. So I think UMBC wins this game being the home team, but would not be surprised if it's closer as this spread says it will be.
All right, good stuff there. What do you think here? Talk to me, Trig. Is this a game you like the favorite, or might Hartford be interesting you at this point?
Joe, Hartford does interest me a little bit. I have to keep tabs on the lesser Albany-based school. So I was watching the Hartford-Albany game over the weekend, and Hartford is pretty impressive. I've seen them play a number of times this year, and I think they're definitely undervalued. Moses Flowers came back for that Albany game, and he didn't even really factor in, and Hartford still controlled that start to finish and blew Albany out of the gym in what was, I think, like a 2.5 point spread. Now they come in as Hartford being favored, I might add. Now they come in as a little bit of an underdog, and I mean, they've won 3 of 4. I do think they're a little bit undervalued against the number. Hartford, there's rumors that they might be leaving Division I completely. So, these kids might never get back to this point. This might be their sort of their one shot. So UMBC, I don't, even though I am in America East country, I don't do a ton with this conference. I have UMBC slightly overvalued. I don't know if I've got enough confidence in my evaluation of Hartford and UMBC to actually get to the window with a rated play, if you will. But just from looking at what the market is doing and kind of what I've seen from both of these teams this year, I would lean toward Hartford being a tough out in this spot for the Retrievers.
Okay, perfect stuff there. Let's talk, Drew. How are you? And you knew Trig was going to keep tabs on those lesser Albany teams. I love that.
Yeah.
Talk to me here. What do you got, Drew? Who are you leaning towards here?
Yeah, it was good listening to Trig there. I mean, he knows his stuff, the geography there. I'm sure he spent some liquored up nights with some Hartford girls or something. Not really sure, but
those lesser than Albany chicks. Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure they're kind of lesser too. That's funny.
Albany is 8 miles from Siena. I think they're like the closest 2 D1 schools geography-wise in the country.
Ooh,
okay.
Keep going.
No, good geography stats. So always fun to know that, Trig. Good stuff, man. But I'll probably take the other side very respectfully from Trig. Give me the Retrievers here. All gas, no breaks, kind of how I like to live my life. They've won 4 and covered 4 straight here, Joe. So we're getting the hot hand. 38% from the 3-point line, 79% from the charity stripe. That's number 10 in the country, guys. Laying a foul fest number here of 3.5, 4. You want teams that can knock down their free throws. That is UMBC here. And on the other side of things, just some stats I like to look at. Hartford, 68% from the free throw line, so under that 70% mark. They do knock down their threes as well, but overall, I'll take the home team here in the Retrievers due to their free throw percent shooting here, Joe, and also them being at home and knocking down their threes. So it's the Retrievers for me in a small look if you need a play.
All right, good stuff there, guys. Now it is time to put it all together here. 35 games in all here tonight on the college hardwood. It is madness. It has begun conference tournament time. So is there a game these guys like a little bit more than the others? And we'll start with you there, mid-major Matt. Talk to us. Which one of these games do you like a little more than the rest?
All right. So I'm going to go to the WAC, and I'm going to go to one of the last games of the night, actually the last game of the night. So everybody loves a good degenerate special. The Utah Valley versus Abilene Christian. I've talked about Abilene Christian a lot on this show the last year or two. It's a team I like to talk about because they have one of the most fascinating splits in college basketball. They're number one in turnover percentage. They force a turnover in nearly 29% of their possessions. But if you get past them, like, their defense is terrible. They're 12th in the WAC in 2-point percentage defense. They're 12th in 3-point percentage defense. And here's the part that helps out. They foul on nearly 51% of the possessions. They're 51.1% free throw attempts to field goal attempts. So they're going to put you on the line no matter what. So, and they actually don't have a terrible offense. These two teams played back on December 30th, and it was an 80-76 game. I don't expect that to happen here. But I think that we're going to see some opportunities for easy baskets. Utah Valley turns the ball over a lot, especially in conference play. They play with an average pace. Abilene Christian wants to push the pace, so we'll see what happens being the fresher team. The thing that's the biggest part of this is last night, Utah Valley got a huge surprise that Trey Woodbury, who is their star, who was not supposed to play this season, ripped up his medical red shirt essentially to play last night. And that's a huge boost for this Utah Valley team. With him in the lineup and the kid in the middle who's really good, I think Utah Valley is ripe for an upset here. I think they could potentially cover the +3 and win this game outright. But I like the over. I think there's going to be some pace here. I think there's going to be some easy baskets off the Abilene turnovers that they force. But once they get past that thing, the center's going to have a good game. The Trey Woodbury is going to have a good game. So give me the over in the Utah Valley Abilene Christian game. It's already gone down a little bit, so you're getting a little bit more value here. But I think there's going to be plenty of points in the late game in the WAC.
All right, like in the late game tonight here in the WAC. I know you and Robert will be up watching that one. So talk to us here. Where you going, Trig, tonight? Which game you like here?
Joe, I love the UTEP Miners. I was so high on this team coming into the regular season, and they faced a ton of adversity during the year. Suli Boom was hurt or playing hurt for a period of time. Keontae Kennedy was out. Like, they just had a lot of sort of adversity that they had to face during the season. But I think it's all kind of coming together at the right time for UTEP. Kennedy came back 3 games ago. They closed out the year with a really nice win over North Texas. And I think this tournament sets up nice for this UTEP team. This is, so just to kind of transition from Abilene Christian, the team that Matt just talked about, UTEP head coach now, Abilene Christian's coach last year, Joe Golding. He's starting to get his system in place. UTEP's a pretty good defensive team, and this is the glorified AAU tournament down in Dallas where they play, on courts next to each other at the same time. And it tends to be like an under-type tournament, so I think it might favor a team. It favored a defensive team last year in North Texas who went on to win this tournament last year. I gave out UTEP on Twitter at 50-1 to win the Conference USA tournament. And yeah, I'm riding with the Miners. So UTEP, I gave this out to my clients on the money line earlier, 4% play. I laid -135. I'm not sure what it is right now. I would lay the extra juice. I'm backing UTEP to win tonight, 4% play up at WagerTalk.
All right, boom, laying it here. UTEP, get it done. Talk to us, Drew. Which one of these games you looking at here tonight for a best bet?
Sure, Joe. Yeah, I like that UTEP play as well from Trig. I'm going to the SEC here, kind of my comfort zone, guys. Ole Miss and Missouri, 2 of the worst teams in the conference. 2 teams that are better on the defensive side than the offensive side. And 2 teams, if you're looking at recency, guys, they've actually been a little bit of over trenders, but that's a lot to do with who their opponents have been. Kentucky, Auburn, South Carolina playing more up-tempo. Those type of teams, when these two teams are playing each other, I'd actually look for it to go under. We're getting, 4 points more than the last time they played. It was 128. Now you can get it as high as 131.5 at one of the prominent offshore books. And this being the first game in Tampa, the SEC tournament in Tampa for the first time in a long time, Joe, I think that sets up for more of an under type atmosphere at the neutral setting. Two teams with good defenses. I'll take the under 131.5, 131 at most of the sports books.
All right, good stuff there, guys. And, of course, our friends at goldsheet.com. They, too, have a play that they're looking at. And, right up our producer Robert's alley, a little incarnate word, Houston Baptist. They are looking at an over in this matchup here. Shocker, Houston Baptist in an over, huh? Wow. 145, I think I'm seeing, 140 or 140.5, rather. Great write-up here, guys, and you can check out our Gold Sheet plays of the day right on our Twitter page, at WagerTalk. If you guys head on over there, we post this and all the Gold Sheet plays of the day. Not to mention, if you head over to goldsheet.com, great opportunity to check out the write-ups for other games, all the handicapping tools at your disposal at goldsheet.com. All right, up till 2 o'clock in the morning watching UC Davis get it done last night. So it's not quite 1 o'clock in the morning, but how about 9:30? We're going to travel to the ACC. And gotta love the Louisville Cardinals here, getting now 6.5 points against Virginia. This opened up 5.5, and you keep betting Virginia. I get it. Extra rest. They had to play yesterday, Louisville. But the one beautiful thing about these tournaments, it's like getting a new lease on life, and that's exactly what Louisville has gotten. So I have no doubt they'll be able to keep this thing inside of 6.5 points, which is why I am backing them against Virginia, like watching paint dry. All right, let's check it out, guys, one more time. We'll recap it for you. As Drew is going, Ole Miss, Mizzou go under 131.5, while Trig likes UTEP on the ML, guys, 135. Hop on it. Matt Joseph's going Utah Valley, Abilene Christian up and over the 132. I'm taking those 6.5 points with Louisville all day long. And our friends at the Gold Sheet, they're going to go up and over Houston Baptist and Incarnate Word. And if you head over to WagerTalk.com, guys, right now you can hop on board for the entire, and this is one of the beauties right now, the entire March Madness, right through the national champion for 177. It doesn't get any better than that, guys. Take advantage of it. Hop on with Drew Martin, who is absolutely red hot here, guys. He's got a 5% best bet coming your way right now on the page. 177, you get every play from now through the championship. Nobody hotter than Trig on an absolute roll. And, of course, it's sportsmemo.com. Mid-major Mac, hence the name. On fire, guys. Partner up with any one of these three gentlemen, or, heck, all three of these gentlemen. You can do it for $177 apiece. All access for March Madness. And on behalf of Drew and Adam Trigger, and, of course, mid-major Matt Josephs, guys, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. We'll be back tomorrow for another full slate of college hoops. And until then, best of luck with those plays tonight. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Good luck.
Between now and Selection Sunday on March 13th, there are still tons of regular season college basketball action to go. Plus, all of the conference tournaments and Wager Talk and Sports Memo are announcing their March Madness Bonanza special, which includes the rest of college basketball regular season, conference tournaments, NCAA tournament through the national championship, and any plays released in the NIT or CBI tournaments. Sign up for this promotion now at your favorite handicapper's homepage and get the rest of the college basketball season through the national championship on Monday, April 4th for just $177. That's under $5 a day for one of the best betting experience in sports. Act fast, as the March Madness Bonanza special is only available for a limited time.